Hello, welcome to the show Modern Art. My name is Barrent Wall and I will be your host. Today we are going to discuss the painting The Connoisseur by Norman Rockwell. Now, Norman Rockwell is not usually a name you associate with modern art, but in this case, it is different. In 1961, Norman Rockwell, the beloved illustrator, transformed his studio, generally reserved for creating sentimental works portraying small-town America, into one for fashioning an abstract expressionist piece he would call The Connoisseur. While appreciative of modern art and abstract art, Rockwell had confined his talents to more conventional paintings, depicting life of everyday folks in traditional circumstances. Whether Norman Rockwell's inspiration for his art piece was to poke amusement at modern art, particularly its foremost apostle, Jackson Pollock, or for Rockwell to showcase his concealed talents in expanding genres of abstract expressionism, the verdict is still up to debate. What is clear, Rockwell entered the endeavor with the same vigor given his more traditional efforts in creating an art piece. The question was how to combine a piece that would both showcase his hidden talents while not deviating from the style that people came to admire. This had the added difficulty of not seeming disrespectful or condescending of the modern art movement, especially Jackson Pollock and his drip painting technique. First, Rockwell would need to test his artistic ability in this new genre of abstraction. He did this by creating an initial abstract piece in the familiar Jackson Pollock dripping paint style, where the canvas was laid out on the floor and the paint was dripped from above. Next, Rockwell wanted validation. This was achieved by submitting the abstract painting under a pseudonym to the Cooperstown Art Association exhibition held in New York. The painting took first prize. At another event, the Brookshire Museum exhibition, where he signed it Privical, this time Rockwell received honorable mention. Since remnants of the artwork can't be found online, I tried to reassemble the original abstract piece in Photoshop, which we will show here. The separate abstraction element piece is appealing. It has vibrant colors laid out in a common, consistent density and color distribution, worthy of a standalone expressionism art piece. Then, Rockwell combines the two in an overlay of a well-dressed older gentleman in a gray suit, observing the piece up close. While the gentleman's face is hidden from view, you can almost imagine the expression on his face, trying to understand the piece of art. Rockwell was able to make a painting that bridged both the space between conventional and modern art. When I was in 6th grade, our class took a field to the Young Museum to view the Rockwell exhibition. I was so captivated by the realism and sentimentality of his work that I wrote him a letter at his home in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. I was pleased when he sent a letter back saying he was glad to correspond with me, a young 6th grader. Later on, when I was writing my book, Exploring Fractals, I contacted Rockwell's son to see if I could use portions of The Connoisseur for the back cover of my book. His son granted me permission, so I replaced the Pollock portion with one of our own fractals, the Mandelbrot set, which I had generated on the computer with our Mandel movie software. Is fractalism the new modernism? The Connoisseur remains a special work in my heart, even today. An added footnote. In the 1980s, I visited the Smithsonian National Gallery to see if they had any Norman Rockwell paintings. The curator informed me that he was only an illustrator, so they would not have any of his work in the collection. I was crushed. But I did find a bust of Rockwell there. Years later, however, two avid collectors, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, exhibited their Norman Rockwell collection at the Smithsonian. It was a big hit. It remained there for a year, a success. And yes, it included the Connoisseur.